So I wanted to talk about two heavyweights who fought last night. Firstly, let's start with one who looked very, very good. We're going to come on to one who didn't look so hot in just a moment. I want to talk Luiz Ortiz versus Matias Vidondo. Luiz Ortiz wins by third round knockout and goes up to rank number 19 on BoxRec. Now, in terms of his CV and in terms of the guys he's beaten in the ring, 19 is arguably generous. He's got a poor resume, considering he's 36 years old. He beat Monty Barrett, or the ghost of Monty Barrett, more accurately. Most impressively, he beat Latif Kayode in a single round, although that was later judged to be a no contest because Ortiz tested positive for some steroid-type substance. So apart from those wins, his resume is pretty scant. He's got 23 wins against 0 losses, 20 of the 23 wins coming inside the distance. But he looks very, very good. He's one of these fighters who, even though it's hard to rate him much higher than BoxRec have done based on his resume and the guys he's beaten, he's passing the eye test and he's passing it nicely. And we should probably expect this because he's an accomplished amateur from Cuba. You know, in light of the likes of Matias, Solis, these guys can look very, very good on the way up. The question is, and you get this with a lot of accomplished Cuban amateurs, is when they get towards the top of the sport, do they have the dedication, do they have the drive to, to win the titles and to get to the very, very top of the sport? Matias, Solis, those two guys come up just short. Can Luiz Ortiz be different? I think what I like about Ortiz, and you can see this in the Matias Vidondo fight, is how light he is on his feet. He's a heavy-set guy. He's 6'4", but he's big, he's powerful. He's carrying a bit of fat on him. He's not ripped out, he's not in great physical condition, but he's very, very light on his feet. He's got a bounce to his game, but at the same time, he's excellently balanced. He's a tricky southpaw, and he moves well, not only laterally, but also backwards. You know, when the opponent throws anything, and it's a lower level opponent, this Matias Vidondo lost to Beto Costa Jr. in Brazil. And we remember Dillian White taking out that guy in one round. So this Vidondo, even though he had a very good resume, I think it was something like 20-1 or 20-2, something like that. He's a poor opponent. So Ortiz did what he was supposed to do. He looked good. But from the southpaw stance, obviously leads with the left jab, straight right. Sorry, other way around. Leads with the right jab and straight left. That big straight punch is a real powerful punch. And he measures it and times it so nicely. He doesn't neglect the body. You know, even though against an opponent of this level, he could probably just knock them out. He picks it, he drops to the body, and he creates the gaps that way. So I really like this guy. I've talked about him a few times before on the channel, but with his drugs ban and, you know, the fact that he hasn't been in the biggest fights, he probably hasn't got the attention he deserves. But I think this guy can go far. You know, he's 36 years old, so we need to see him step up the level of opposition. He's calling out Klitschko. Realistically, he needs 2 or 3 big names before that. You know, guys like Thomas Adamek, guys like Bermain Stavern, guys like Bryant Jennings. I'd like to see him in with that level of opposition next time out because he's destroying all that's in front of him. He's got huge power, he's got great accuracy, and he appears to move very, very well. He looks like the total package to me. He's not the most athletic, and I'd be concerned for him if a fight went very, very late. You know, if after 9 or 10 rounds, his power simply wasn't enough. But to me, he's passing the eye test. And as I say, check out this guy's fight against Vidondo. He carries a lot of power, and he goes about business very, very nicely. He's one to watch, and one I expect to see in a big fight coming soon. Someone who didn't look so good, Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev fought George Arias, who regulars will remember going the distance with Hughie Fury recently. And I thought Kubrat Pulev would win by stoppage here. I thought that George Arias was simply too small and too limited to go the distance with Pulev. I thought Hughie Fury, I thought Arias made Hughie Fury look bad and he made Hughie Fury look light punching. But I thought Pulev was just going to be on a different level altogether. And whilst I don't overly rate Pulev, I thought he'd have no problem dealing with someone as small and as limited as Arias. But to be honest, he looked very, very poor. He clinched continuously, he wouldn't fight on the inside, and it was just classic Pulev, the light punching jab. You know, I've always felt this guy is very, very one-paced. I've always felt he lacks versatility, and I've always felt he's slightly overrated. He was very poor against Klitschko. I had him losing a fight early on against Tony Thompson, And I just feel that he hasn't got many strings to his bow. And the fact that Arias was able to make him look that bad and he wasn't able to show the golfing class, it's very, very questionable. Very, very questionable. I think that when this guy steps up, he's going to be in trouble because, Kubrat, Pulev, who's he actually beaten? Dimitrenko, Ustinov, Thompson. He's there or thereabouts, Pulev. He deserves to be top 10, but I want to see him have a meaningful fight against one of the big guys in the division now. Not the Klitschko's, but maybe one level below that. I'd like to see Pulev Povetkin, Pulev Jennings, those sort of names. In fact, seeing as we've talked about both guys in the same video, what about Pulev Ortiz? That would be an interesting fight. And right about now, I'd pick Ortiz in that fight. Ortiz is looking like the better of the two for my eye. Anyway, 2 heavyweights. I wanted to round it up. Luiz Ortiz 1 to watch. Kubrat Pulev, I fear that Klitschko's ruined him. Let me know your thoughts on these two guys. How do you rate them? Who do you want to see them fight next? If you enjoy these heavyweight roundups, give me a like, thumbs up the video. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching.